Hello and welcome back to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. This is Sandy. I've been putting my garden to rest. I know it's April, but I'm putting it to rest. Why? Because this weekend, I'll be starting another garden in another state, in different soil. That's right. I live in two places, Wyoming and Arizona. Wyoming, still my home. But, we have fun down in Arizona while we're here. And I grow a garden. Such great produce. But I have to get ready because we leave actually in a day and a half. I have one section left to do. But I thought I'd take you along and show you some of the things that I have to do to put that garden to rest. Things I have to think about. Though my citrus trees get watered, and even some of the flowers that are around them get watered, my actual gardens do not. And the other thing to consider is there are feral cats down here in Yuma, Arizona. I don't want my gardens becoming a litter box. So there are things I have to do. There are checklists that I have to check off to get everything done. And Joe has helped me with many things. But some of the stuff, it's just sitting, chopping, sitting, pruning, sitting, and just doing the boring things. That's right. Sometimes gardening is boring. But I get to look forward to starting my seeds and seedlings and starting all over again. Actually, I'm going to start on Saturday. Now, I won't be able to put things out in the gardens yet, but I will be able to set up my small hoop houses, set up my walls of water so that soil starts to get warm when I get back home. And I'll show you a video about that. But let's go put gardens to rest and see some harvest. So this is just a different angle from the garden. It's on the back side. But we're going to start around one of the fruit trees, an orange tree, where I grew these red onions the whole time, and they have really liked it since it's gotten warm. And the soil's a sandy loam, so it's easy to pull out. These are Southern Belle reds. And so I have a couple different kinds of onions that I'm growing down here. They're what they call short day onions. And so they're made to grow in the south. And so I set up a table and I am just going to lay all of those onions out. Just give them a little bit of chance to dry a little bit. And I have some red ones and I have white ones. But you can see they're just massive amounts of onions. And so of course I'm going to give them away to friends and neighbors, mom and dad. And then take a bunch of them home too so that we can have onions all the way until my onions in my garden in Wyoming are ready. Because we do love onions. And so it's just one of those things that we like to grow. And then I am going to take them and just chop off a lot of the green. Because I'm going to put it in a mesh bag so that we can take it home. And we have some different cabbages. The cabbages did not get big like last year, though you can see that one starting to split. And here's some of the potatoes. I've been actually harvesting potatoes for weeks, and there's some more of them, but look at this. Let me find that great big honking one. There it is. Now that's a big Yukon Gold. But we're taking those home, and I will store them in a mesh bag too. Now, anything that's green, I'm actually going to turn that into a seed potato because I just don't want to eat that. And see, this is the mesh bag. So I'm just got a whole bunch of them thrown in there for right now. And then I'll separate any of the ones that have some green on them. This is a tomato haul. I did give tomatoes to all kinds of people too. So can you imagine? About twice that many tomatoes. And the lemongrass, totally out of control. It's about 8 feet tall, but I want to save some of those seeds. And so let me bend it down so you can see a seed head. And I'm putting it in a mesh bag. They work perfect. And I will just hang those until we leave. And I'll continue to let them dry when we get back to Wyoming. But see how they're just hanging on the porch. There's literally probably tens of thousands of seeds there. But I'm just chopping it away because I don't want it to be that tall when I leave. It was about 8 feet tall, so I'm just taking my time and I'm just chopping and chopping and chopping. But all of that stuff is going to go into the garden. So I'm at my very last part and I'm just breaking some stuff out. And honestly, when I get back in the fall, it will be huge again. I really wish I would have planted it someplace else, and so that I could put something other than the lemongrass there. But these are a couple of the gardens. You can see that I pulled everything out, the tomato plants, everything, petunias, and then I put cardboard on top of them. And I did the same thing in the back garden. And so everything is pulled out of the garden. You can see the piles right there. All of that is going to go back on top. And even the compost stuff is going to go on top there too. Because I want everything to biodegrade. So I have watered and watered and watered it. And even after a day, you can see how it's starting to sink down. And you can see all the plant material and the lemongrass. And then I put cardboard, and then those boards are just to hold the cardboard. And I took the sprinkler and I just went back and forth for a long time because I just want everything soaked so that my garden is at rest. I gave so much stuff away to neighbors and friends that are down here. Cabbages, onions, and onions, and onions. Potatoes. Just different things because I can't take everything home. You know, the peppers really wouldn't last very well, and they're hot. The peppers that I grew. I did grow one bell peppers, but I used most of those. And we're going to finish picking also the citrus. My lemons, I haven't picked all of those. And Dad has some lemons for me to take. We have bags of grapefruits from one of our friends. And tomorrow, fingers crossed, my one friend is going to remember to bring me blood oranges. And that's how I put the garden to bed in Yuma, Arizona. I want all of that plant material to break down over the summer. And anything that's not will either go in the compost pile, or I will cut it up into smaller things and let that biodegrade even more. But this is Sandi at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. I hope you make a checklist of all the things you got to do to put your garden to rest. I'll see you next time.